Enjoying the weather. So glorious. We've got another 2 weeks of just pure sun, heat, and gloriousness. But yeah, feeling good. Feeling really good. But today I wanted to tap into talking about changes and how change is inevitable. I think sometimes if you live a life of comfortability, as soon as there's a change, it can make you feel uncomfortable. And then with those changes may stem from the uncomfortability of those changes may stem from your previous experiences in life. And I think that if you haven't got to a place of healing through those changes, I think any change is always gonna rustle your feathers, to say the least, to say the most, to say the least. And I think it's about, ultimately, I think, life is all about change. And we can either fear the change and be stagnant with the change, but there's always going to be change happening, or we can go through the motions of having that inner standing, overstanding, understanding, all sorts of standings of the change and changing with the change. Ultimately, we live a life of complete changes happening all the time, internally, externally. And I think, we may have forecast weather letting us know that it's going to be sunny, but actually there's just as much chance as having the sun also having rain. You might have a plan to put your clothes out on the washing line, and then all of a sudden we have the blitz of rain. And it's about how do you handle the change? How do you move with the change? Are you gonna sit in the discomfort, dissatisfaction of the change, or are you just gonna accept the change for what it is and adapt with it and just move and just keep continuing to move forward? Through my own lifestyle, through the many changes that I've had throughout my life, changing with the changes and not being fixated on the change, but just growing with it, has enabled me and has allowed me to fully sit and fully be immersed in all things that have been happening. Today, I might decide I'm gonna go for a run, even though going for the run was never my intention, but just being present in my feeling will allow me to be and allow me to experience it in its wholeness, in its entirety. And as you change, there's going to be so many more changes that are happening around you. As I change, family, friends, close ones will feel the changes, because the people that I used to go out with, clubbing and stuff, if they're still going out clubbing and I'm not going out clubbing anymore, that may change the relationship that we have. Although I still will probably have, I will still probably value them just as much as I did at those times, but in a different way. Maybe the love may feel like it's changed on their end, but there's definitely no love lost on my end. So for me, I think just even existing and me going through my own changes, it seems to be more about the other people that may feel affected by my changes. And I think you just have to be honest with yourself to acknowledge whether or not you want to be around someone that's changing so much that may be quite triggering for you in your current state or in your current journey of your life. Now, I've had so many experiences in life that to some may feel like it would completely wreck the ship and completely not be able to get back up. But I don't really sit in emotions for too long, because we do have control over if we want to sit in something for longer than it needs to be or not. And obviously we all have different experiences, so depending on that determines how long you sit in a thing. And how long you sit in a thing also is determined by if you've had experiences in life where maybe you haven't overcome a particular thing. So that will all play its part. But yeah, change comes with change, and yeah, it just depends on where you sit on that radar, on that spectrum of change. But a seed won't necessarily be a seed forever if it's in the right environment. If it's in the right environment of the soil and the water and the sun, then it's going to grow. And if you don't want that to grow, then you remove the environmental factors that's going to enable growth to happen. So ultimately it's always up to you what you decide. But yeah, like, don't fear growth, don't fear the change. Yes, it may feel very uncomfortable, but on the other side of change lies probably one of your biggest transformations, lies your biggest growth, lies so many things. And I can only imagine how life could possibly seem to be if I didn't grow from all the challenges and adversities and life experiences that I've had for myself. So I can never push growth and change on anybody. I don't intend to push growth and change on anybody. I can give you the tools, I can give you an idea of how things may seem or how things may look, but ultimately we all have our own individual outlooks on life anyway. So change, don't fear change. Change is your best friend. Whether what comes with change may seem at the time as a bad thing or a good thing, the labels that we give things, we like to label everything, but literally everything we experience is the experience. And I think I've mentioned this before, but my great granddad used to say, if you do good, good will follow. So although sometimes change may not seem good, just know that you are blessed and you are immersed in awesomeness, and don't forget that. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, useful, and yeah, don't fear the change. And until next time, stay blessed, stay well, and stay open.